It is everywhere currently. It's almost become synonymous with self-care, and it really is needed now more than ever. I am talking about mindfulness. In this video, we're going to look at what is mindfulness, how do you practice it, and why is it needed more now than ever. This is Inge, and this is the Healing Revolution. You are watching one of the back to basics of energy healing videos where we take one concept every video, break it down so that it can be crystal clear what you are talking about. And so breaking down the building blocks of energy healing so that you can build them back up and become exactly who you are, the most healed, expressed, wonderful version of you. So let's get to today's topic, mindfulness. What is mindfulness? I'm going to take the classic definition from Jon Kabat-Zinn, which says, mindfulness is an awareness that arises from paying attention on purpose on the present moment without judgment. There's a lot there. It starts with, it is an attention practice. And it is using the attention on purpose. And it is using that on purpose in this moment and without the judgment. So why is it everywhere right now? Why is it so crucial? And why am I almost becoming clear that my one-on-one clients, I want them to have some kind of mindfulness basics before we work together? Well, mindfulness requires of us to become the boss of our attention. Our attention is that sort of flashlight that will focus on one thing rather than the other. And with mindfulness, we're training ourselves to use that with intention, use that using our choicefulness. Now, this is really important in a time where all of us have little devices like these that are perfectly designed to grab our attention. Our social medias get paid simply by having our attention focused on it, and so they can show us some ads. Everything right now passes through our attention. In the world of information, the age of information, our attention is what is most valuable and most recruited. So it is important that we ourselves are in charge of it. Mindfulness helps us to do that. Now, so not only are we the boss of the attention, by using it intentionally and in the present moment, we get to choose again and again and again how we respond to life. Without mindfulness, without that choicefulness of bringing your attention to this present moment, it's really easy to be swept up in your trigger, swept up in your automatic responses, reactions, your pain stories. So with mindfulness, by really choosing a position of neutrality where you look non-judgmentally at what's happening, you give yourself the space to be able to choose again and again and again and again. And truly, it's that capacity to choose, that capacity to override the automaticity of our unconscious and subconscious minds that allows us to heal, that allows us to grow our intuition, that allows us to manifest what we want to manifest and that we've never manifested before. It truly is a prerequisite. Now, final thought here is that in the present moment without judgment, that is truly what allows us to heal. Healing does not exist outside of the present moment. In this very moment, the moment that we are in at right now, is where the capacity to heal lifetimes of wounds happens. But it's not by thinking about the future or regretting the past that we can do that. So mindfulness brings us right here, right now. And it is right here, right now that we are endlessly powerful to heal and to choose differently. Now, mindfulness can be done in a formal way and an informal way. Formally, this is the practice that we've all seen or practice, is taking the time, setting a timer, and deciding that for a certain amount of time, you are practicing this, coming back to the present moment on purpose and without judgment. So using the breath as an anchor, using the sensations in the body as an anchor, using the sensations as we walk as an anchor. All of these work beautifully because the breath, the sensations, they only exist in the present moment. So this is a formal time where we're practicing the muscle of our attention. We are practicing noticing and observing how our mind takes us away from right here, right now. Our mind is another version of these. Our mind also travels all over the place, connects with a million things. And that is a beautiful feature of the mind. But we do need to train it. We do need to have an observing capacity towards it. And then there's an informal version where maybe you're talking with a friend and you are practicing being fully present there with them. And that is so healing, having the full attention of someone. That is a magical experience. It's my guess that most of us have experienced that at some point. And another way to practice informally is if you're waiting in line in the grocery store, you take a breath, you come back to the present moment. If you've been scrolling Instagram for a long time, you kind of get out of the daze, take a breath, notice. If you are in a thought spiral of how you're not good enough and how could anybody ever love you, this is a spiral that doesn't exist in the present. There's nothing happening in the present moment. There too, you refocus on the present moment in an informal way. It allows you to break those harmful patterns that pull you into a life that you don't want to create. So all of this, I'm going to just give you a little story of when I first started my journey with mindfulness. And so I started my whole spiritual journey in a 10-day meditation retreat. I didn't know what meditation was. I just knew it was going to be 10 days of silence, and that was probably going to be good for me. So about 7 or 8 days in, and really this is a 10 hours a day meditation kind of deal. Around 7 or 8 days in, I realize that, okay, I've been doing a good job of bringing my attention back to the present moment, relatively good job. But my mind, where my mind goes is predictable and silly. And where my mind was going was boy number 1, boy number 2, and then what am I doing with my life? And all my thoughts could be summarized to these 3 themes, or at least 95% of them. And it was such a profound moment of clarity and whoa to me that moment of mindfulness allowed me to say, oh my God, is this all that I am? A silly 23-year-old girl just thinking about boys and what is she going to do with her life? And at that moment, I decided to be me, to be more than those 3 thoughts. And it set me on a whole healing journey. And that is the power of mindfulness. If we go unchecked, our patterns run away with us, and we become a very simple expression of those patterns, of those unconscious things. And if you're here, my guess is that you want a life that you create. You want to heal, you want to experience peace and contentment and laughter and giggles And that does not happen if you keep playing the old patterns. So mindfulness helps you break it. So I thank you very much for being here. If you loved this video, you are sure to love the whole Back to Basics series. Subscribe and have a look at the other videos in this playlist, such as healing, intuition, attention, triggers. If you're interested in this one, you will probably like all of those. Finally, if you want to go deeper, I do have a 10-day mindfulness journey, and it's really built for you if you have really lost touch with the practice or you're completely new to it, because it gives you formal practices and informal practices, and the formal practices start at 2 minutes. Everybody has 2 minutes, and they build all the way up to 20 minutes, which for me has become the amount of time that when I do every day, I really experience life at a whole new level. So I hope to see you there. The links are below, and I will see you in the next video.